Adidas faces backlash for ad containing non-binary models. A new stirring controversy began on the Adidas swimsuit advertising campaign for June Pride Month. Hundreds of posts with hashtag Adidas hates women went viral. Adidas has marketed and sold Pride Month merchandise previously also. However, this time, the issue is who the company chose to model the garment. The swimsuit with Love Unites printed on it is listed in the women's sportswear section of the Adidas website. But the two people modeling it present as gender non-binary, which is attracting criticism from many on social media. One of those speaking out is former NCAA women's swim star Riley Gain, who went to Twitter and said that the company could have at least labeled the swimsuit unisex, but they didn't, as they want to erase women. In reality, Adidas has 45 pages of women's clothing, and almost all of the 2,139 garments have models wearing them. Scrolling the pages, you'll know the company is neither erasing women nor drowning itself in so-called wokeness. There are thousands of clothing items for purchase on the site that isn't being modeled by gender non-binary persons. The one thing that I really like about this story, and I think that there is something to like, is when you hear the criticism back that they feel like women are being erased. I think it's important that we understand where that kind of feeling is coming from to be able to address it. I think it's totally wrong and it's completely stupid. But when we listen to those words, like what are in their hashtags, what are they coming at? And we've really got to listen. This is just, it's so sad to me that this is even a controversy.
I want to ask the same question that I asked before. If Adidas next year says, you know, we're not going to be involved in any swimsuit like this, we're not going to take on trans, we're not going to take on non-binary, etc. What's our reaction to that? When the marketing decision-making of the economics of any corporate business structure says, you know, this is too difficult, we're not going to do it.
I would move my business to a more supportive retailer for those specific products.
Like who?
Nike.
Reebok.
I don't know. Listen, I'm the only girl at the table, and here's the thing, okay? Women have been marginalized since the beginning of time. All right? We are the first ones marginalized. And here's the thing. Someone doesn't feel seen. Adidas, make sure that women feel seen. Apologize and keep it moving and we're done. You're never going to make everybody happy. Right. Here's the thing. You're never going to make everybody happy. And the climate that we're in right now, that's why the TERFs are all up in arms when it comes to transgender. Because they're like, we're not being seen anymore. It's not that you're not being seen. It's just that the plate is full of a bunch of people not being seen. You know, and that's the reality of the world that we're living in right now. You shouldn't be mad at Adidas. It's true. Adidas has pages and pages of women's wear, and pages and pages of women's wear, and pages and pages of women's wear. You know, when the Adidas suits came out and they were all for the boys, they were like, no, we got to make one for the girls too. And they came out with a line of the Adidas jackets and you know, the suits for women as well. They made a mistake, okay? They should have put unisex. Riley, go have some sex, mommy. I don't know what's going on with you.
I want to ask you specifically that. She says all kinds of crazy things, by the way, in so many different areas.
Oh, does she? I've never heard of her before.
She sounds reasonable. The trans swimmer at Penn, she has just done a number on. But to her point, she sounds reasonable until she goes crazy. But to her point, which does sound reasonable, why couldn't Adidas just simply say, this is a unisex swimsuit?
Maybe it was an oversight.
Well, because unisex is either or, and they're not trying to
address
non-binary
isn't even that's also a point. And that's the thing. If they would have put unisex, a non-binary person would have said that's not right.
Or just any gender.
How, I'm curious I hear you loud and clear, of course.
I know you do.
But how does a business navigate the complexities of human beings first? We're a world full of Karens. Mm-hmm. How does a business navigate that? And how do you navigate LGBTQ+?
By deciding your values ahead of time.
Yeah.
And having that aligned throughout the entire organization, where every employee, every vendor knows what that organization stands for. So when something like this comes up, they can say, look, you know, we know that that's not in alignment with the other people's values, but if you know anything about our organization, it's in alignment with ours, and you just keep moving forward.
Well, and you need to do is have consultants. You need to have LGBTQ plus consultants, part of all these organizations, and it will have to be LGBTQ plus consultants from each state that will be able to tell you what it really is going on being LGBTQ plus in these certain states.
We know several. right in this state, reach out to us.
Can I just ask the question? So the whole controversy is the label of unisex versus, what was it labeled?
It's the inclusion of non-binary models.
The inclusionary of non-binary models that offend women that say you're erasing us by showing this and representing it. And as Mark just points out in the story, there's hundreds to thousands of products sitting side by side with it that are embracing women, but that doesn't matter. We have to have it all.
I mean, many of you know my opinions, that I think that this whole alphabet thing and labeling is ridiculous. So that's just me. I think that too much of this, like, I don't understand how any major retailer, I'm part of the community myself, and I can't keep up with all of the different labels and what they mean, because they mean something different to everybody. There is not a standard definition of what queer is. There isn't a standard definition of many of these labels when you talk about how many genders and all of that stuff. So I do think that it is really difficult for a retailer to be able to keep up with that.
I want to add one last question, because we do have to time-wise move.
Damn it, you're not going to let me eat him up? Damn it!
Do we decide, I'm curious to your opinion, DeSantis now officially running for president of the United States, do we decide as a community, LGBTQ+, and all of the different definitions that we're talking about, that we go, the bigger issue is him as opposed to our individual needs in our acronym? We're setting aside our very strong opinions on non-binary, how trans is represented, whether it's trans mass, trans women, whether it's a lesbian or a queer woman, are we able to suspend, to go, we're not going to continue to feed that machine, which is being used to try to convince other people in fear?
I don't think we're able to look at the bigger picture, Al. I don't think we're able to look at the bigger picture, because we're in such fear. Okay, again, marginalized women, right? Pushed around forever. We're afraid that if you put that off the table, it'll be forgotten forever.
Yeah.
Okay, and whatever positive steps that we've taken, we'll be retracting and we'll go back.
And we go into a self-defense mode too, where every kind of—
What about me? What about me?
Is just holding on to its own safety. I hope that this event, like the We the People that's coming up on Sunday, I hope that
July 2nd.
July 2nd.
To Faye's point, are we willing to accept a Biden defeat, a DeSantis win, because he's able to make so many people afraid of the conversations that we're having here at the table? We're willing to accept, okay, we're going to hold on to this so strong, we're willing to accept DeSantis becoming president.
No, but I don't think we have to. I think that we can have the LGBTQ plus community, singular, LGBTQ plus communities. Yes, we're each our own smaller community, a minority within a minority, if you will, but we can have that. And I addressed that very issue in this week's SFGN that comes out tomorrow. Because I was at City Commission last night, and they were talking about, well, you're the ones banning drag. No, you're the ones banning drag. Well, the fact is DeSantis is the one banning drag. We need to unite in that and then defeat him.
Yeah. I'm fearful. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm fearful.
You should be.
And I'm fearful because I did last week the story about Aaron Parisi going to the top of Denali, and for me, a trans woman climbing the 7 summits and bringing a rainbow flag and a trans flag is such an incredibly beautiful story. By the way, she's at 9,000 feet right now and is going to, God willing, get to the top of Mount Denali right in the middle of Pride Month. I think it's a beautiful story. In my exuberance, I posted it in one of the principal masculine gay labeled Reddits, and it's had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of embracements, and overwhelmingly the things said about, how dare you post this in a gay related Reddit, and basically to hell with trans, and they are destroying our world. I was shocked at the vehement hate.
Were you really shocked?
I was shocked, honestly. I've talked about it several times today. I was shocked because it's in our own community, and I know the enemy is not trans people. And I know for trans, gay people are not the enemy. And I know for gay men, lesbians are not the enemy. But it was shocking to me of, oh, wait, there's lots and lots of people that don't think that.
Yeah.
Governor DeSantis is our enemy. That's why I ask you these
Not
questions.
each other.
Not
And that's what they want. They want us to be separated, and every single day we're doing exactly what they want us to do.
exactly what they want to do, divide and conquer.
Not on this show.
No.
Yeah.
And
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.